Welcome back to the podcast. What we thought we'd do is a shameless plug for the StrengthCon coming up in October. The dates on StrengthCon 2 are October 19th through the 21st here in Wichita Falls. And as well as the first one went, we thought we'd go ahead and follow up on it with another one this year. And, everybody seemed to have had a good time last time.
For the most part, yeah.
I think for the most part, except for the three people we had to throw out into the parking lot.
1% is not bad.
That's not bad. I mean, they got some gravel in their chin and stuff, but other than that, everybody else had a good time. And we want you to know that those three guys had it coming. Okay, but this time we are going to take a little bit different approach to this. We kind of had a general program last time. This time we have decided that we are going to do, we probably will do this for the subsequent StrengthCons too, is we're going to pick a topic and we're going to explore that topic in general all weekend. And once again, this is an experience that is open to everyone. This is not a coaches event. This is not like the Coaches Association convention. This is an event that's open to the public. It's open to you. And this time we are going to talk about rehab and injuries. Injuries and rehab is the theme of this October's StrengthCon 2. And what we're going to do is spend some time exploring in depth what has always been the most popular topic on the boards. We get more questions about injuries and rehab, how to treat them, how to avoid them, what to do after you're injured, all this, than any of the other topics we ever get on the board, because people that train hard get hurt. And it is an important subject for you to understand better, because if you're interested in strength conditioning, you're going to eventually have to apply this information to your own personal situation.
So, if you came to the last one, the social stuff will all be the same, but all the content is new.
Brand new content. This is not a repeat of anything we did at the last StrengthCon. So if you want to come to the second StrengthCon, you're not going to hear anything that you heard last time. All of these things we're going to make the best effort we can to ensure that content is brand new on all these things, so that you can come twice a year to these and get an excellent educational experience for not a lot of money. Last time we had training sessions we had one on Friday.
I think all day Saturday, all day.
It was all day Saturday and then 2 on Sunday. We're only going to have 4 training schedule slots on Saturday this time. So we're cutting that back quite a bit. And if you wanted to train, you'll need to get signed up quickly and get your slot in place. We will have 2-hour time slots available at 10 o'clock, noon, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock on Saturday, and that's all. These will take place over here at Wichita Falls Athletic Club in the gym, and our regular staff from seminar staff, as we say, the seminar staff will be working the platforms all day, same people all day. So you just need to sign up for the slot that fits your schedule better, and you're probably going to want to look at the lecture schedule, see which lecture you can afford to miss, and schedule your training slot for that time. Friday and Sunday, the gym will not be available to train. So if you're planning on getting here early and trying to slide in one of those days, we're not going to have the gym open for training on Friday and Sunday. So Saturday is your day. So make your plans right now. I open the lectures on Friday afternoon with a little welcoming address, kind of a general introduction of the weekend's topics. And then at 3:30, Darren Deaton, he's a DPT. He lives in Dallas, and he works staff for us. Darren is going to have the keynote address with respect to treating injuries in rehab through the same principles that we use for training, the stress recovery adaptation syndrome. And what we find is that virtually no physical therapy is conducted with this model in mind. And the few people that do it this way are associated with us. And that's what's really going to be the emphasis of the weekend, is how the same process that you use to train and get stronger is applied when you get injured. And Darren will talk about that and give a review of the general concepts that he uses in his practice in Fort Worth and Dallas. At 5 o'clock, Robert Santana is going to talk to us about nutritional considerations for injury and rehab. And this is an interesting topic because there are many, many misconceptions about what you actually do, what you should eat, supplements, this sort of thing, that are important to consider when you're rehabbing injuries. At 7 o'clock, at 6:30 actually, we're going to break. And then at 7 o'clock, the whiskey tasting with myself and Coach Reynolds went over so well last time that we probably going to go ahead and repeat that again. We'll have 25 slots available for this, and when you register that afternoon, registration starts at 2, you will opt in for a lottery ticket to be drawn to see if you can get into the whiskey tasting. The slots are not for sale on a first-come, first-served basis. If you want to try to get into it, you're going to enter. And then we're going to pick 25 names out of the hat, and those people, of the people that entered, 25 will get to come to the whiskey tasting. And the whiskey tasting is $50. We bring the whiskey, we have the glasses, you have the liver. And that'll all start at 7 o'clock, and we'll probably be done by 9 with that. And Friday night, again, we will have the BYOB bar we had last time. That was very popular.
Yep. Worked out well.
Worked out very well. And I'll tell you the reason we had the BYOB bar is because of all the bar options. Every state's different. In Texas, if you're going to sell alcohol across a bar in your event, the bar must be catered by an establishment with a liquor license. So there's 3 or 4 places in town that'll do this. And these guys wanted to bring Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Seagram's gin, and
a couple of beers.
What was it?
They were
like
gonna hook us
Coors
up with
Light,
some beer.
Bud Light,
Yeah.
Miller Light, Michelob Light, Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra.
For StrengthCon, you need Michelob Ultra.
Right. And we knew that you would not approve of this. So what we decided to do is we're not going to insult you guys by offering you this swill across the bar. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to town and you're going to get your own bottle or your own beer, and you're going to bring it with you to StrengthCon, and we've hired a bartender, and you're going to hand your container to them. They're going to label it, and this is how it has to be done in Texas.
Not our idea.
Not our idea, but this is a much better idea than saying, well, we have Jack Daniels, and you'll get to have your own bottle, and they'll serve you out of this all night, and that's the best way to handle it. Trust me, this is the best way to handle it. It worked out fine last time. You can share it with your friends. Everybody gets to try each other's whiskey. Right. We have 2 or 3 decent liquor stores here, and you can go get a bottle and kind of play around with that on Friday night and have a nice social event. We're done with that about midnight. Now, at midnight, you don't have to leave, but you can't stay at the venue, okay? You guys think of creative things to do after midnight, okay?
Lots to do
Lots to do
in Wichita Falls.
in Wichita Falls. Well, and you have each other. So let's see. Saturday morning, we start again. We got a full program on Saturday morning. At 9 o'clock, Matt Aiken is going to speak about the medical side of injury. What doctors should and should not do. And the reason for this is most noobs who get injured go to the GP because they don't know what else to do. This is usually a waste of time. And Matt is going to explain to you why it's a waste of time when you really do need to seek medical help for an injury, when you don't, and if you do, who to look for. And this will be an extremely valuable talk and may save a lot of you people the price of the whole weekend's ticket. So you'll want to see this. At 10:30, Nick Delgadillo, our friend from Long Island, who is finishing up physical therapy school right now, is going to have a little talk on tendon and connective tissue disorders. And those of you that have been training any length of time know that tendinitis is the most common problem. It's what happens when you get an overuse injury. And Nick has got some ideas on how to treat that, cutting edge kind of stuff. Lunch is from noon to 1:30. And 1:30 we come back and Dr. Patrizio is going to talk about hip replacement. Now, I wanted John to talk about this because this may not apply to everybody at StrengthCon, of course, but you've all got relatives.
Yeah, applies to their moms.
It applies to your mom, your uncle, your dad, older people, and they are all under the impression that once they have their knees or their hips replaced, they just have to sit in a chair for the rest of their lives, live out their days playing canasta, this sort of thing. And that's absolutely not true. The prognosis for a replaced joint with a prosthetic is very, very good. They're getting better all the time, and John is going to talk about that. Okay, at 3 o'clock, Will Morris is going to have a very interesting presentation. Will is a physical therapist in the Army, and Will sees a lot of people that have been really badly fucked up. And he sees a population a lot of the times that many other physical therapists never even have a chance to deal with. Amputees, people with blown up in IEDs, and some very, very tough physical therapy cases, the worst you can run into. And Will is very good at dealing with this.
I've heard him talk about this stuff, and the value for us and for you guys is it reframes your perspective on your pain.
On how bad you're
and
actually hurt.
Right, yeah. When you don't have a choice, it's either you don't walk again or
Right.
do this right now.
Or do this right now even though it hurts real bad,
Yeah.
and you do it anyway.
Yeah.
This 1 to 10 pain scale that's always used is, for most people, completely useless.
Yeah.
You think a paper cut's a 7 and shit. And
Well, it is.
This thing's hurt, man. Made the doctor throw up. So, anyway, Will is going to talk to us about this. He'll show you exactly what is possible, and this is what you need to keep in perspective. What, in fact, is possible through the correct application of the stress recovery adaptation sequence. And that's from 3 to 4:30. At 4:30, our friend Michael Burgos, who's an occupational therapist that specializes in hand and wrist injuries, is going to talk to you about the hand, the wrist, and the grip. And this is often a source of a lot of injury problems for people that do high levels of volume in their training. And I think it's important to understand that the principles of rehab also apply to your hands, the skin of your hands, your knuckles, your wrists, carpal tunnel, all of this kind of stuff that a lot of us have a lot of trouble with. And that happens at 4 o'clock to 6. He'll be the last speaker that day. And then at 7 o'clock, we will convene back. We're going to give you an hour's break. We're going to convene back, and we're going to have Branding Iron Barbecue, our fine barbecue establishment here in Wichita Falls, is going to cater dinner that night. Of course, the bar will be open again until midnight, and you guys will have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about each other, learn things you didn't really learn Friday night. And
Brian's playing on.
And oh yeah, our friend Brian Riley is bringing his group, and these guys were great last time. And it's a small jazz quintet, and these guys are pros. They really did a hell of a job. And this time, I'd like more people to sit down and actually listen to them than did last time, because these guys are good, and they'll play some dance tunes. But it's an excellent performance, and I was real excited to have him back. And he was, in fact, Brian came to the StrengthCon.
Yep.
He attended the StrengthCon in April, and was glad to do it. Was happy to come back and entertain us on Saturday night. So make your plans. If nothing else, you just need to come here, Brian.
Yep.
Right? Now, we had a brilliant idea, if I say so myself. On Sunday morning, what we decided we were going to do is break up into, what would you call them? Focus groups? No, that's not groups. Breakout groups. Breakout sessions. Breakout sessions. I know there are modern terms for these things. So if we got 200 people in the chairs, we're going to break into 6 groups. And that would be, 30, 35 a group. And then what we're going to do in these groups is we're going to have each group led by one of our speakers, and we're going to have taken questions ahead of time that you want to talk about with respect to your own personal injury situation. And we're going to explore for 2 hours. We're going to explore in a group the questions about injuries that each one of you guys has got. And I'll be kind of floating around amongst the groups to keep the fist fights down to a minimum. And we'll talk about the stuff in detail and hopefully get you some insight into your particular situation. So if you've got a chronic injury problem, this is another reason to come, because we're going to talk about everybody's problems, and we're going to get some good time spent discussing all this stuff with a group of professionals that understands how all this stuff works. Now, at 11 to 12:30, we've got the king of all rehab stories, Brian Jones, our friend from Kentucky, is going to come and tell you about his rehab story. And those of you that are familiar with Brian will enjoy watching him talk. He's a lunatic. He's a complete lunatic. He's an entertaining human being, and he came and gave this story, the talk about his injuries to the Coaches Association 2 or 3 years ago, and there was not a dry eye in the house. I'll tell you that. It's a great story of a horrible injury and a guy with big giant cantaloupe-sized balls, and how he overcame the things. And you'll enjoy it, I promise you. This will be an excellent, excellent weekend, and we want you to make your plans right now to come. Lunch will be after Brian, then we'll have a Q&A session for an hour and a half, and then we'll break up about 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And you saw Caitlin McBride's article that we ran a little while back about her experience at the first StrengthCon in the workout. And I think you ought to pay attention to that because it's an excellent experience. It's an excellent opportunity for you to get some very, very good coaching with the best in the business, our seminar staff coaches. And this is ridiculous. Why are we charging $299?
It'll be $1,000 next year.
It ought to go up to $1,000.
Yeah.
You can pay $299 a month for some idiot to tell you things. So, right? And but these people know what they're doing, and they'll get you straightened out because that's their job, and they're very good at it. So, StrengthCon 2, October 19 through 21, right here in Wichita Falls, Texas. 200 slots are available. We will not sell 201. There are 200 slots available. There are 120 training slots available, and that's all. So make your plans right now. Anything else?
That's it.
I think you ought to do this today. Go ahead and push the button and plan on having a great weekend in October. The weather will have broken by then. It won't be as hot here in Wichita Falls. Middle of October, great time of year. And we'll see you that weekend for StrengthCon 2. Thanks for watching our podcast, and we'll talk to you again soon.